little wordlings. I hope you're having a good day today. I thought I would take this opportunity to do a little shameless self-promotion under the guise of describing my writing style and my routine.
You're soft and weak.
Yeah. As you can see, we have a new friend on the shelf. This is BB, the zombie bee. I'll have no other use other than being an awesome, funny pun, because all puns are funny.
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
Why?
Because 7 is another one of those whack Stranger Things kids with superpowers and anger management issues.
I have released 2 books through self-publishing on Amazon, which I might go over one day because if you ever want to self-publish through Amazon, it's actually really easy and I like it. And I know Amazon, big bad company, but you know, there's some things you just have to use when you have them. So this was my first one, Second Rate Goddess, my hilarious journey through postpartum depression. Hilarious only has 1 L. This one has 2. I am aware of that. However, I don't feel like having a second edition of this book until I sell off the hard copies that I have, which may take another, 5-10 years. So anyway, I was having a hard time writing this book. I always knew I wanted to write it. I was holding back because I kept thinking, what if my mom reads this? And I kept not writing stuff down because what if my mom reads this? And at one point, I don't know how I slapped myself in the face, but I'm like, if I'm going to be honest, I can't care who's going to read this, because this is partly for people who are going through postpartum depression, who don't know what to do next. And it's also for me. I needed this. I needed to get it out there. So the first thing I decided to write after I came to that realization was the first time having sex after giving birth. And I did it. Realizing the more I say not care, the easier I'm making it sound. I know it's not easy. It took me so long to get there, and it not just writing. So in the end, the writing part ended up being the easier part because I had it in my head. I got it out. But then deciding to put it out into the world, like finally making the decision that I'm not editing any of this down for others, for chastity's sake, however you want to say it. And I would encourage anyone writing to do that. You can't worry about what other people think, because if you worry about what other people think, you're never going to write it. It's never going to get on the page. Your story is never going to be told. And that's worse. Your story not being told is worse than any other thing that could happen with your story, including people not liking it. Because people can't like something that doesn't exist. And it's so trite and so cheesy, but it's true. Sometimes truth, how did they put it in Community? Truth is accessible. Truth is John Belushi or Jim Belushi. I gotta do a review of that show. That show has so many great puns in it and such great writing.
The Indian kid was right.
He's Arabic.
Also Polish. Whatever. I'm a fake psychiatrist, not a fake ethnologist.
But anyway, so I got it out there. And people bought it. When I say people, I mean my mommy friends bought it. A couple of family members bought it. A couple of family members were mad that I didn't give them free copies, but other people paid. Why would I give? I think I gave free copies as a gift to one person. And who else did I give a free copy to? A discounted copy to some. So I was at one of those craft sales, and I had a table signing books. And this woman had a table across from me, and she was selling vegan food. And she had these amazing vegan, yeah, you know what this means, right? Little Powerball, yummy things that were just so good. I gave her a book, and I was just gonna. She's like, she was gonna pay full price, and I'm like, give me $10. And then when I gave it to her for $10, she gave me more of her food. Oh, she was so amazing. Very nice lady. And oh my God, her food was freaking amazing. Not just the power, it was other stuff that I can't think of right now, but I tried a few things off of her table and they were all delicious. So I haven't seen her in a while, but the season's starting up again for, you know, craft shows and specialty shows and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll see her again. And I had one lady who was, I don't know, I got to assume in her 60s, come to my booth, and she looks at my book, and I explained it was a memoir of postpartum depression. Literally, not kidding, went like this. I'm not reading anything about that. She walked away. Righty then. What do you call a Karen that doesn't yell but gives off Karen energy?
Bad vibes, bad vibes, bad vibes, bad vibe, bad vibe, bad vibes, bad vibes.
I had a drag queen say they purged it from their memory. That's what I think she said. I tend to just nod along when people talk to me, and I heard the purged it from my memory part, but I didn't hear anything else, so I'm just going to assume she hated it. Got a bad review on Goodreads too. My mommy friends gave me good reviews, so what are you going to do? I'm happy I wrote it. I am, and some people genuinely liked it. Some, not a lot, but then again, I didn't sell a lot of copies. And I didn't do it to sell a lot of copies. I wrote it to write it. I wrote a book. Like, how fucking cool is that? I wrote a fucking book. Now, then, functional neurological disorder happened a few years later. So I published that in 2018, and I started getting... Sorry, you're so shaky. I got you on my knees. I'm getting twitchy fucking FND. 2019, I started getting FND symptoms, and I started writing less and less. And now I could go through the emotionality of not writing, and you know, the reasons I didn't, the physical reasons I didn't, the mental reasons I didn't. But in the end, I finally started writing again, and I wrote a full story. And the joy I felt in writing that full story was incredibly weird, because I didn't think I missed it that much. I didn't realize how much I truly loved writing. And I do. And I still love it. I don't care if all I write down is a sentence. And I come to the conclusion that I have to do something small rather than nothing. And if every aspect of my life, whether it's to help someone, to help myself, to do, and I'd rather do something small than nothing at all. I'm just on the cheesy wagon today. So, I rewrote a couple of old stories and wrote a couple more new stories, and I decided to put out a short story book. Now, it's just a chapbook. It's less than 100 pages, and I did it through Amazon too, and it's called The Fates of Three. And I did this one purely for me. Like, again, I hope people like it when they read it, but the other one I wrote as a catharsis. This one I published as a means of an end. I wanted to publish something because I needed to. I needed to have something physical in my hands to show that I could keep going. That sounded dumb? It sounded dumb, didn't it? I'm going to leave it in. And so I did it. And I'm a member of the local Writers Guild, and we have weekly inner circles for writing. And I credit that a lot to me being able to write, because it forced me to have a sit down and write. I've actually been thinking of starting a Twitch channel where I'm just writing, and then it forces other people to sit and write, and that would be their writing time too. But then I'd have to start a Twitch, and that's a whole thing, you know, clicking buttons, writing things. You know what I mean. Plus, I don't even know how Twitch works. I know how, I still handwrite. Look, I handwrite everything before I type it out. I'm an old fuck. But anyway, my process of writing with that one was, again, just get something on the page. Because if you get it on the page, you can always take it out. You can always throw it away. You can always not use it. You can always start something new. but you got to get something. I also have to learn to be patient with myself. And you have to learn to be patient with yourself. You're not going to do something every day. I know people who write, even Stephen King says he writes 12 hours a day. And realistically, if you're doing writing because it makes you happy, do it when you can. If you're trying to write a book, it's good to try every day, but don't hate yourself. You did it. You tried. You tried once this week. You tried once this month. But you did it. If you want to just journal your life experiences so you can chronicle it and have it for future family members, you can't do that unless you start. And I want you to write. I want you to do art that makes you happy. I want you to draw and paint and sculpt and play music and write symphonies and write children's songs and write dirty limericks. And be happy that you're creating something. Create the perfect dish that puts your soul into it. Make a beautiful hairstyle. And people will say, yep, that's this person. Only they would do that. Design clothes, design purses. Make your own clothes. Sing songs in your head that make you happy. It doesn't have to be for anyone but you, or it could be for everyone in the world. We're living in an age where you can self-publish everything. There's so much content out there. It makes my head explode just thinking about it. So I gotta wear this. Keep everything inside. I'm funny. All I'm saying is the writing process before was I actually would sit down and write, and I wouldn't need inspiration. I would just write, and then some stuff I keep, some stuff I wouldn't. Now the purpose is to put something on the page, because once I have something on the page, I have the confidence to move forward and do what I actually want to do on the page. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope this helps somebody. I hope you write. I hope you do anything artsy that makes you happy. That's enough rambling for today. I hope you have a steady brain day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.